The Toronto Blue Jays have made some big and unexpected moves, giving us a much clearer picture of what this team will look like, not only just for this season, but for years to come. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In this one, we're going to be breaking down the latest Toronto Blue Jays moves, from Kirky's surprising extension to the decisions they just made about the opening day roster. I kid you not, I hit record, we got the update. I am amped up. Before we get into it though, please make sure to hit the like, smash the subscribe button, and let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. All right, so first things first, let's start with my man Alejandro Kirk, who got himself the bag last night, folks. I don't think anybody was really expecting this. This definitely wasn't on my radar, but Alejandro Kirk agrees to a 5-year extension worth $58 million. The Toronto Blue Jays, they have their catcher for the future, and I get it. There's definitely a decent amount of Kirk haters out there. I am not one of them. I love this move from the Toronto Blue Jays. Flashing over here to Josh Goldberg, okay, he says Alejandro Kirk's AAV, so his average annual value, will be $11.6 million on this 5-year deal. Now that puts him right in between Mitch Garver and Christian Vasquez, so Alejandro Kirk immediately becomes the sixth highest paid catcher in MLB, just in terms of average annual value. And honestly, for me, I love that, right? I know that people, they get on Kirk all the time about what it is that he does with the bat and everything. And don't get me wrong, okay? He definitely could be better, okay? Last year wasn't great for him. I would love to see him get back to his all-star season back in 2022 when it comes to offensive production. But people are forgetting what he does behind the dish, right? The guy's pitch framing is incredible. The way that he calls the game is getting better year after year. His defense is top tier, right? Everybody used to get on Alejandro Kirk about how bad his defense was. That's not the case anymore. You were talking about one of the better catchers in MLB when it comes to outs above average and everything like that. So for me, I get it. He's not going to hit 30 home runs. Very few catchers do, and this is just a move that shores up that spot for the Toronto Blue Jays for now, the next 5 years. And honestly, they had to do it, folks. They had to do it because looking over here, taking a look at their prospect system, one thing becomes abundantly clear, and that is that there is no catchers in their top 30. I'm not even joking with you, okay? There's not a single catching prospect here in their top 30 prospect rankings. Just scrolling through, we got a lot of pitchers, we got a lot of outfielders, got some infielders, don't have a single catcher right there. And considering, Alejandro Kirk, his deal, it was going to be coming up after 2026, so you'd have him for this season, and then 2026, then he'd be a free agent. I think the Toronto Blue Jays saw their prospect system, and decided, you know what? We like Alejandro. We know what he means for this organization. Let's give him the money right now. It also doesn't hurt that the guy was having an incredible spring training. He was batting .302 and an .819 OPS. That was over 43 at-bats because he's played in majority of the game. So I know it's spring training. It doesn't mean a whole lot, but obviously it's just nice to see that the guy that you just paid $58 million is showing up in, quote-unquote, best shape of his life and is playing really, really well right now. That's number one. Number two, and this isn't a great update, I'll be honest. We have some really exciting updates coming, folks, so stay tuned to the end of this video. This one sucks. Dalton Varsho is going to be starting on the IL, John Schneider says. He'll be in Toronto on opening day to receive his Gold Glove Award. Then he's going to come back to Dunedin and work with Kevin Kiermaier and the Toronto Blue Jays staff. Now, I didn't really see this one coming because, I just thought Dalton Varsho, with the way that he's played recently in spring training, granted it's only been DH, I was thinking, okay, what are we doing here, guys? The guy's hot as hell. I guess that they're just a little bit too concerned about, re-injuring him or anything like that. And I get it, you know what I mean? We say this every year, right? You don't want to push a guy at the start of the season if he's not ready for it. So from that standpoint, I understand. I would have liked to see his bat in the lineup. However, It doesn't sound like it's going to be very, very long, folks. This is from Keegan Matheson's article right here, saying that the plan is to expedite Varsho's recovery in Dunedin, and when the time comes, get him into a handful of games with AAA Buffalo. Listening to Snyder, it's clear the Blue Jays are aiming to have Varsho back with the club at some point in April. So we're talking about a couple weeks here. It's not going to be a big-time IL stint or anything like that. I didn't expect it to be. I think that they just don't want to, like, force him into a situation where, oh, gosh, you know, he's going 110%, smashes into a wall trying to make a catch, and then, oh, shit, there's Varsho gone for, you know, majority of the season or something like that. And I do understand that and appreciate it. So it sucks that he's on the IL. Good news is he's going to be back soon. And another good wrinkle here is that opens up a bit of a roster spot. And this is what I'm excited about, everybody. Right as I hit the record button on this podcast, we got this update right here. Alan Roden has made the Blue Jays. Alan Roden is going to be on the opening day roster, and oh my God, it is so freaking deserved, folks. Alan Roden this spring training, 1.287 OPS. The guy has a 423 batting average, and I understand everybody's going to be like, oh, Nick, it's just spring training. It doesn't matter. I know, but he looks incredible. He's got a great head on his shoulders, and on top of all of that, this is somebody that is skyrocketed through the prospect system, the farm system for the Toronto Blue Jays. Last year, this is, you know, him going from AA to AAA. He just excelled, right? He excelled. He had an 866 OPS from both AA and AAA. I believe he actually did better in AAA than he did in AA. He's 25 years old right now. It is time, and the Toronto Blue Jays realize that. I think that they see this Varsho injury too, and they're like, okay, at least for the first couple weeks, there's going to be some more opportunities right here, because you don't want to bring somebody up like Alan Roden and then just never give him opportunities with the bat. I think with Dalton Varsho out, that obviously opens the door a little bit more, at least for the first, 2-3 weeks or what have you. Can he show that he deserves to be there in those first 2 to 3 weeks? I think he can, and that has me absolutely amped up. On top of that, we also now know that Miles Straw and Nathan Lucas have made the roster. And this all ties in together with Alan Roden as well, because when it's time for Dalton Varsho to come back from the IL, I mean, I'm thinking to myself that one of these two guys is going to be going down, right? Obviously, depending on how people are doing at that time. But I'm looking at these guys and thinking, okay, well, yeah, I kind of want to keep Alan Roden up here. Maybe Nathan Lucas can be sent down. And maybe that means that Alan Roden is actually going to be on this roster longer than we initially thought. On top of all of that as well, folks, we also now know, where is it? There's so many updates here, guys. A big, I mean, this is what happens. Opening day is on Thursday, folks. So, by the way, March 27th, Amsterdam Brewhouse, be there. We're going to be there. Incredible opening day party. But this is what happens, right? Opening day is right around the corner. On top of Nathan Lucas and Miles Straw and Alan Roden making the roster, we also now know that Davis Schneider and Tyler Heineman are going to be in that lineup as well. Tyler Heineman was always going to be a given, right? You need to have some type of backup catcher. Davis Schneider was the one where people were like wondering, okay, is he not going to make the roster? He's had enough, or a good enough spring training, to warrant being on that opening day roster. Fingers crossed he can keep that up into the regular season. We know what he's capable of. Last year was obviously a down year. Hopefully, it is a blip. So those are the latest roster updates from the Toronto Blue Jays. But before we sign off today, I got to give a quick shout out to this, everybody. Whoa, time for a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code down below to join the action. Only available in Ontario. Must be 19 years of older to participate. Please play responsibly. Now, everyone, back to the content. Toronto Blue Jays 2025 Grapefruit League champions, everybody. Doesn't matter what happens today, because there's a game going to be happening literally today in a couple hours from me recording this right now. Does not matter what happens. Toronto Blue Jays are the champs, everybody. They're at least going to get a share of the championship. I think Boston has the capabilities to, like, if they win their next two and Toronto loses one, then we'd be tied with them. But either way, we are going to finish the Grapefruit League at number 1. I understand it means less than nothing, but for a guy who has rarely seen his team win anything, I'm going to take everything that I can get. And just another exciting note here is that we finished this Grapefruit League. Yes, they have one more game, but that offense was humming, folks. 816 OPS, 6th in all of baseball. Start the damn season already, because this Toronto Blue Jays team, it's looking locked in. But folks, let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. And as always, go Jays, go.